Yeah, I go on and on. Can't understand how I last so long. I must have the superpowers. Last 223,000.
What is the deal, beautiful people? It's your boy Ramon. Welcome back to another episode of AMA. How this works, you ask your questions in the comment section down below, and we answer them in upcoming videos. Today's questions comes from likliklik, like, however you would pronounce that. And he says, while iOS and Android have a lot of apps over and above Windows 10 Mobile, what percentage of these apps do you think are mission critical? And he puts that in air quotes, i.e. apps that users can't live without. How many calculator apps does the average person really need? I'm not hating on iOS or Android. I'm just trying to justify buying a Windows phone. Well, I'll tell you what. This is an interesting question, and this is something that I feel like the core Windows Phone fan just never really gets the full spectrum of this question. And it sucks because you are who you are. If you're a Windows Phone fan, chances are you're a good and proper fanboy. And that was me for a long time. Still am a fanboy. I just happen to get my hands on a lot more than what you can get in the Windows Phone ecosystem. So this really comes from the notion that Windows Phone 10 or Windows Phone in general has no apps. And this was something that was it Belfiore? I think it was Belfiore. When they were drumming up the beat for Windows Phone 8, they really went after developers aggressively. And his thing was, we've got the top 25 apps that exist on Android and iOS. This was years ago, right? At this point, it was years ago. And you would find things like Facebook Messenger, Skype. But the interesting part about that list was it never really told the whole story. It was always weird to me because the most popular apps necessarily weren't the most downloaded apps. And that's where we really come into every time someone wants to look at Windows Phone, they ask the question, well, does it have Snapchat? And you gotta be like, well, no. At that point, Snapchat wasn't popular in terms of downloads, but it was popular in terms of this thing was like the new trend app. You had to have it. And then, even for someone like myself, now we're full speed ahead on YouTube. I need the ability to manage our YouTube channel. That almost doesn't exist on Windows Phone. I know there are a few third-party apps out there, but the tools is lacking in comparison to the YouTube Studio app that you can find on both iOS and Android. And then you look at what continued to be a sore point, and what many conspiracy theorists would point out might have been one of the things that actually killed Windows Phone is just the absence of Google apps. We're talking YouTube, we're talking Gmail, Google Maps, that type of stuff. It just doesn't exist. So when you get a question like this, what percentage would I say of the apps that are available is mission critical? I would definitely say it's under 1%. If I had to guess a number, but I still think that 1% is a very, very loud percent. I get what you're saying with the joke about calculator apps, because that is a thing, right? You type calculator into the Play Store or the App Store, and you just get these wild results. Some of them good, some of them bad, and it's just like, I just want a calculator app. You know what I mean? It's interesting, but it comes down. I can go in my Android phone right now, which is probably a good exercise, and I'll tell you. I'll look at my folders and we'll see what I have. So in my social media folder alone, we have Instagram, and we know Instagram's been a sore point for the Windows Phone world. We finally got it. In fact, the Windows 10 version launched last week, and it's pretty dope. I might do a video on that. Let me know if you guys want to see a review for that. I have WhatsApp. WhatsApp's available on Windows Phone. GroupMe, of course, we know that's Microsoft owned. I have Boost, which is it's a Riddick application. There's tons of that on Windows Phone. Snapchat, we know that that's not there. Messenger, okay. Bitmoji, don't judge me. We don't see that on Windows Phone. I got Hangout, Duo, Allo, and a Twitter app. So just judging from my social media app alone, not too much is missing, but the one that is missing is a big one, and that's Snapchat, right? Then I go into my entertainment. I got YouTube. You know, YouTube is one of the better examples of what's super dope about Windows Phone, because you've got MyTube, and I forgot the name of the other one. These apps are phenomenal, and they do a really good job at substituting for the actual first party app. So that's neither here nor there. Spotify, I know Spotify was a mess on Windows Phone when I had it, but it worked. I've got Get Pocket, which I think Pokey was the third party replacement for that, and that was fine. I got Amazon Video. I got a podcast app. So not too much that I would have been missing there if I was back on my Windows Phone ecosystem. Productivity folder, I've got OneDrive. We know that's there. I got the YouTube Studio. That's not on Windows Phone. We spoke about that. I got a Feedly. I got the Feedly application. There's a third-party app for that. Lynda.com. I don't know if that exists. I got Epoxy, which is an app from the network, our YouTube network, that I really enjoy using. So that's not on Windows Phone for sure. Then in photography, my photography folder, I've got things like Snapseed, which is something that's not on Windows Phone. I've got the Lightroom, that's there. I got the Google Street View camera that I use, and a whole bunch of other things. Like right now I'm shooting on my Panasonic G7, so I've got an app to remotely control the camera, pull the video, pictures off, whatever I want. Same with Sony. That stuff's not available on the Windows Phone. So, you know, it still continues to be a perspective conversation, because some people will tell you everything I need is there because they don't use a lot. But when you start to dig, I mean, to me, the bare minimum should be something like Snapchat and Instagram. You know, the minute something becomes popular and you see it rising from the pile of garbage on the App Store, we got to figure out how to get that on Windows Phone. You know, Microsoft got to figure out how to approach the developers and get it there. But just from that little exercise, and this is why I continue to keep an eye on Windows Phone, right? Because I can survive. Especially I have a dual phone life where my work phone is an iOS device. So if I really wanted to go back, which I anticipate when the Surface comes out, if I really wanted to go back to the Windows Phone world, it wouldn't be too much of a jarring experience for me. But some people, not so much. But I want to know from you guys, especially the Windows Phone elitists amongst you, and be real. You know, there's always applications that we sort of look at from the sideline. It would have been nice to have that. We all have that app. For me, it was Snapchat, and it was Instagram, even though 6tag was amazing. You know, but when Instagram really iterated, we didn't get a lot of those features in 6tag till like weeks or months later. So it was a cat and mouse game. But anyway, thank you for your question. And again, how this works is you ask your question in the comment section below, and we will answer it in upcoming videos. Like the video if you like it. Thumbs it down if you didn't like it. And subscribe. We got plenty more coming. I'm out of here. Peace.